Butt, feeling like a weenie, but now it's 5:30. It's time for a martini. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our Kiki, the 5:30 Quarantini.
Hello.
It is 5:30. I am Michael Hull.
I am Dylan Bustamante.
And welcome to the 5:30 Quarantini. This is going to be fun. Dylan, happy Thursday. Happy hour. How are you?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You guys were starting...
And 21 now.
We're starting 2021 with our first episode of the year with a guest we're very excited about, a drink we're very excited about. It's I got a feeling 21 is going to be a good year.
I think 22 is going to be even better, but yes, 21 is going to be great.
It's gonna be great. I'm jumping a full year into the future. Hello, everybody. I see a bunch of people arriving in the comments. It's so nice to see you. Welcome to the show. If you are new, we don't know you're here until you comment. So make like Layla or Rose or Lemon. Do we think this is the Lemon?
Do we think that's Lemon?
Do we think it's Lemon?
Lemon watching our show?
Lemon. Oh my gosh. Make like them and drop a comment so we know you're here. Dylan, it's been a big day. It's been a big past 2 days. I know there's a lot going on in the world.
So much.
How are you? I'm happy to see you. It's been a minute.
I know. I am exhausted, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I am exhausted and good. How are you doing, Michael?
Same. I'm tired. Yesterday really took a toll. But you know, we said when we started this that we were going to start this broadcast as a way to find a little bit of levity in a time that has been challenging and continues to be challenging. And so that's what we're going to do for the next hour. We're going to try to put our forget your troubles, come on, get happy for about an hour.
Yes,
for about an hour.
Yeah, then... I was trying this thing this year where I wasn't going to drink until Thursday, and yesterday that just totally went, haywire on me. But
yes.
I'm excited for this beverage today, and I'm excited for our guests today. And look at all these fun people that are here today.
The Broadway whiz herself is in the house. I also see Michelle Cabot. Hello, Nellie. We're so excited that you guys are
Grace
all here.
Is back. Yes,
we've been on a little hiatus. Doing no happy hour. It's been no happy hour while we've been on a hiatus.
Yeah, because it's been the holidays, so every day was a happy hour.
So every day was happy hour. Well, in any case, Dylan, I'm excited. You're excited. What do you say we jump into today's episode?
Let's get started, huh?
Well, you may recognize our guest today from his star turn as Damian Hubbard in Mean Girls,
Tony nominated,
for which he was Tony nominated. We're pretty sure this is our second Tony nominee ever on the broadcast.
It's true.
We think. So shout out to Lily Cooper, but also here comes our second Tony nom. So he played Damian Hubbard in Mean Girls on Broadway, and he tap danced the house down.
It's true.
And,
it's true. That's one of my favorite
tapped
numbers.
His way right into all of our hearts.
Yes. He was also seen on tour in the Ding Dong, Hello, Book of Mormon, where he was, I told you I'm going to be a little wild today. In the Broadway smash, The Book of Mormon. He was Elder McKinley. He is a hilarious guy, and we can't wait to catch up. And so why don't, Michael, we take a look at Gray Henson?
Yes!
Hi, I'm Gray Henson.
Wait, why don't I know you?
A revenge party, a party that ends with somebody crushed and alone. Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Baby, I light up my world. I bet my hair fits you. Oh, want some. A 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop, 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 stop. We can't stop. Stop, stop, stop. We can't stop. Stop, stop, stop. You really gotta stop. Honestly, everyone stop.
What?
Yes.
What a compilation, if you will.
You're really getting quite good with Final Cut Pro there, Dillsies.
Thank you. And honestly, the Mean Girls like trailer that they made for Broadway is honestly really great. That's where I got some of those clips from in the beginning.
Some of those very legal clips.
No, they're very legal. I took them from the internet.
All right. Well, without further ado, what do you say we bring in our guest? Please
Let's
welcome
bring
to
him
the
on
show, Gray Henson.
Hi, I don't know what happened.
That's okay. You're just in time.
You're
I had to
just
fix my computer. Literally, I was on my phone, and then you started talking, and you both were like, "Drrr." It was like a weird, like audio bug.
Huh.
Oh.
Anyway,
Well, can you
I'm
hear us
here.
now?
Yes. Can
I
you
can hear you now, yeah, but I'm not on my phone. It's in the garbage. So if anything is terrible, let me know.
Well, we're gonna chug right along. Speaking
Yes.
of chugging, not
Yes.
that we're usually chuggers on this broadcast, but first things first, because we have priorities. It is happy hour. So, Gray, what is your drink of choice?
Well, for this, I chose a gin and tonic because this
Word.
felt like a classy event.
Mhm.
I do love like a gin and tonic at winter, like during winter time.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that you think we're classy. I'll take it. But so, will you share with us your proprietary recipe for a gin tonic?
Yeah, absolutely. I got this. Look at this massive bottle of gin, by the way. It's bigger than my
Yeah,
face.
I think you'll have enough.
I have a huge face, and it's bigger than my face. I'm in Georgia currently visiting my parents. This is my childhood bedroom, and so
Yes.
if you're
Thank you,
wondering,
Georgia.
like a garbage couch and some weird decorations, it's because it's my mom's office now. But in Georgia, like they have like these like massive, like liquor stores and stuff. So when I ordered this, I was like, oh, okay, I'll get some gin. It's a massive thing of gin, but it's cute. It's like this gin made with rare Rang Pearl limes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Never seen it
Fancy.
before, but I wanted to try it, so I'm doing this. And
Okay.
My
perfect.
gin is not as fancy as yours, but
Yeah,
it did
mine's
come with
just
this little
aviation.
bow on it.
Oh, look at that cute
So
little
it's
bow.
like dressed up and ready for a broadcast.
Michelle is saying, yes, childhood bedroom.
Thank you, Michelle. No, literally, you guys, and now like I'm sweating because like I was freaking out about the live cast. So like you're getting Gray Henson sweating in his childhood bedroom. Like what could be better?
What could be better? What could be better? Tony
Starting
nominated,
2021 off strong. All right, so how much of this gin are we putting in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing ice, and also I love that I'm making a cocktail in this room. This is hilarious. Canada dry tonic water. So what I'm doing with the gin is I don't measure it. Does anyone measure?
No.
No. I pretend to sometimes.
So I think I'm gonna do like this has like fun lines on it. So maybe I'll go up to this line. That's maybe
Okay.
2 shots.
I'm gonna
Okay,
give it up
mine's
there.
in a pint glass, so
Yeah,
In a
I
what
think-
glass?
in a pint glass. So I don't have any lines, but that's
Okay.
just a lot of gin I just poured.
You're
Yeah.
making a double. It's okay.
Yes.
Okay, and so and I've got limes too, and then so tonic water, I guess, just top it off. That's why I like this drink because it's just so simple. I
Yeah.
feel like we're on like what's that clip that keeps going around of that woman who pours like the endless amount of vodka. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Ina Garten.
Ina
making-
Garten.
No, I love Ina Garten. No, it's this other random woman. I think people know what I'm talking about. She's like, and just a one shot of vodka, and it like pours incessantly. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I have seen
It,
that. Now
it might just be our show that you're talking about. Have you been
No,
watching the 5:30 Quarantini? Because we do a lot of that.
No, and then a lime, a fresh lime. I'm slicing.
Yep, fresh lime right here. Totally fresh.
Work. Ooh.
And you just throw it in. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my
Delish.
god, I am so excited for this.
Swizzle straw.
Cheers.
We're having Gray's gin and tonic.
Work. Let's see. Mm. Delish. And yes, some people in the comments seem to get it. Christopher Metzger-Timpson says, that blonde lady.
Thank you, Christopher. Yeah.
Thanks,
blonde
Chris.
lady. I wish I knew
We
her
can
name.
count on you.
She's now just known as the blonde lady. How
The
about
blonde lady with the strong
Victoria.
pour.
It's good. I love
Right.
a gin tonic, right? It's refreshing. It's kind of like there's juniper berry. I don't know what's in gin. I'm kidding.
I think there is juniper berry in
Are
gin.
you just reading the bottle?
Yeah, right. There's no ingredients. No.
It's got spices from around the world and
Fun fact,
alcohol.
You know, like I worked at an essential oil store briefly before Mean Girls started. We did the Mean Girls lab, and then the feature. We did the Mean Girls lab. We did
This
the Mean
episode's all about you, Gray.
I know, right? Hilarious. Just to zoom on the big face. We did the lab, and then I had a whole summer before we were going to DC, and I knew that I would do the show in DC and then on Broadway. And so I had this whole summer off, and before I booked Mean Girls, the lab, I was like applying to random jobs because I just left Mormon and I wanted like a day job. And this essential oil store named Sage that we discovered in Canada when we were on tour with Mormon, we were all obsessed with, and they were opening a store in New York. And so I worked at this essential oil store for the summer before DC, and we were testing out all the oils constantly, and I kind of had an allergic reaction to the juniper.
Oh, no.
The fact that I'm drinking gin, I'm like maybe slightly allergic to this drink, and I chose it, and I'm just now remembering that whole thing.
Well, if you start to feel tingly, maybe there'll be a safe word or something, or just put the drink down. But I think we're a low pressure broadcast, so don't do anything that's going to hurt you.
No, I have EpiPen standing by.
Oh, great. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. I can't believe that you were like, I just finished my Broadway debut. I think I'm going to take a break and work in an essential oil stand.
Well, I love essential oils, but honestly, like I learned so much about like people and like, I don't know, I think everyone should work a day job at some point, no matter who you are. It gives you perspective. I realized how terrible people in Soho could be, like seriously. And I also like was surprised by I was like, good at it. And I think as an actor, I'm always like, can I do other things? And everyone's always like, God, I feel like such like a pawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the other fun fact that I wasn't going to mention, but I was like one of the first people to work at this new store, and they like brought all these people down from Canada to teach us, and then they left. And so for a week, I was the manager of this store in Soho. They like gave me the keys and were like, embrace the manager for a week. And I was like, never worked retail, never been a manager of anything. Like seriously, like ran a store in Soho.
Wait,
That's
I'm
so
obsessed
funny.
with
I love
this.
that story.
I'm obsessed with. But I think you're right. I think everybody needs to work a customer service job at some point in their life. When I moved here, my first like 6 years, I was a bartender in Times Square, and it was awful. But I feel like I learned so much.
Oh my gosh, bartending in Times Square is terrible.
It was rough, but we made it through, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
Was that like your worst survival job, Michael?
Bartending by far. That, and I worked at a Starbucks for 6 hours. I did not have what it takes. Ironically, it was also in Times Square. But I got there. I lasted about 6 hours, which is almost one full shift. And they were like, "Listen, this is not a job for you." And
wait, I have to know why. What happened?
they were really, really into it, like really into it. And I thought it was just a coffee shop. And I'm not what I don't have an attitude. I'm a pretty agreeable person. I'm like a team player. I'm like down to clown. But they were very serious about everything. And I think that I was just a little too fun for them. And they were like, no, this is a sacred space. This is the third space. We are brewing the sacred coffee. And if you are
sound like
not
you worked
in
in like
it,
a soul cycle or something.
it was bananas. It was nuts. But yeah.
I mean, I get that. It's probably pretty culty. It's like a massive corporation.
Yeah. And then I remember when I left, I was like, okay, whatever. I made it 6 hours. You know what? I'm taking my apron and I'm taking my hat because I thought they were cool. And the guy called me every day for a week being like, you have to come back and return your apron and hat. You don't work for us and you can't represent our brand. And they like hunted me down. So finally I had to go back to this Starbucks in the middle of Times Square, the huge one right next to the TDF steps. And like return, I was like, take your hat and your apron, and I'm never coming back.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
The
only place that I worked that I really hated was I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch for about the similar 6 hours. I went through all of the training and it was when I first moved to New York City. and I lived in the financial district, and right at the South Street Seaport, there was an Abercrombie and Fitch, and everyone from Pace worked there.
Yeah.
Wait,
And you were the
what year was
naked
that?
guy in the front covered in like body oil.
What was that?
was-
Yeah, I was not. Obviously, I was not that person. No, I wasn't the guy in the front being like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like in the back folding T-shirts.
Like in the dark, like moving through the dark store. I mean, you know what was worse was Hollister. Hollister was literally a cave, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I always actually thought it was very impressive that they managed to build all of the stores like that. That you went in and you were like, they brought in some legitimate set designers and like gave you production value in a retail
it's like
space.
the Rainforest Cafe of like,
The Rainforest Cafe. Perfect. But yeah,
Oh my
that was
God.
my worst survival job. It's terrible.
Amazing. Well, Gray, you're coming to us today from, as we've learned, you're coming to us from your childhood bedroom. You're in Georgia.
The great blue
First
state
of all,
of
shout
Georgia.
out to Georgia, changing the world. Thank goodness.
I mean,
Yes.
what a time to be in Georgia. And I've been here since September, and I'm staying for a while. I'm helping my parents out with some stuff. But literally, like, I was here for the election. I'm here for this crazy, like, these runoffs. Like, literally, it's been kind of awesome and also scary. Like, so many people have been coming to our door, and like everyone is like has been attacking Georgia in an amazing way to get everyone to vote. And clearly, it paid off. Like, it's been so cool.
Yeah, I'm very entertained by this idea of people coming to your door though and being like, "Hello, would you like to vote blue?"
Literally, no, and also it's like terrifying to answer the door during COVID too. But you're like, I'm just like, we voted.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
You just yell at
Did
the door,
anybody
"We've already
famous? Because
voted."
there was a bunch of famous people in Georgia just like knocking on doors. Was there?
I will.
Did you get like Darren Criss? Like,
No, I mean that would have been such a gag though, right? Like literally,
Yeah.
the place I grew up answering the front door, being like a 30-year-old in Macon, Georgia, saying, "Hey, Darren Chris." No, nobody famous came here, but no, it definitely, it was like, it's so cool. I mean, besides everything that happened yesterday, it's been like an awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you haven't been in Georgia for the entirety of the shutdown.
No,
Right?
yeah,
Tell us
I
a little bit, just in, you know, as a little bit of a check-in, just with you. How have you been? How is your quarantine shutdown life been? What have you been up to? How are you feeling? It's nice to see you.
Thank you for asking, Michael. I left Mean Girls like 2 days before the show shut down, before Broadway shut down. My contract was up March 8th, and I was like, I'm gonna do new stuff. I'm gonna take a break, you know. And that was I was quickly slapped in the face.
you got the break part right.
Yeah, I was not prepared for such a lengthy break, but I was prepared for a break. So maybe more prepared than most. But yeah, I was in New York, in Harlem, in my apartment for from March until September. And you know, I don't know. Like, what have I been doing? I've been Zooming nonstop. I've been doing a lot of cool coachings, and like, the thing that has been really great about this is like getting to meet so many people that I never would have. I did like some master classes in New York in person, but like to have a computer and then everyone can just sign up for a coaching has been really cool. And there's something about doing a show nonstop where you just kind of like your brain checks out and you stop becoming like this creative being. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I did Mormon for like 4 years, like 1,600 times. And then Mean Girls was a pretty long run too. And so for me to like sit down and just talk about like acting to these kids, like some middle schoolers, high schoolers, some college students, has been really cool and like affirming, like in so many great ways. I'm trying to see like the glass half full, like the silver lining of all this. And I get all this time with my parents, which I never would have had, you know.
Right.
Which is super cool.
Yeah, because you left college right away and was just like on tour with Book of Mormon, if I'm correct in that statement. So you never had that like coming home from college moment, and then
I did
worked.
right after school. I went into Mormon on tour, and then right after the tour for 2 years, I did it on Broadway for 2 years with like a week in between. And then like, so that was 4 years of my life, which was a college education in itself. And so like to go from school to Mormon to a little bit of unemployment into Mean Girls, into Essential Oils, into Mean Girls on Broadway. It literally has been a marathon up until I left the show. And then I turned 30. And then like, you know, the world shut down. And it's so it's a little bit of an, like, I'm having a mild existential crisis, but it's only because I haven't really had the time to sit in this. And so I think there's a lot to learn from all this shit. I mean, obviously, like, you kind of just have to be at peace in so many ways.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my dad has been sick, and we're kind of dealing with all of that and taking care of him. And so it's just like, it's heavy, and it's also like really important, I think, you know?
Yeah.
And also, you guys, I'm so sick of like talking to my computer. And I know you feel the same way, but you guys have been doing this apparently hundreds of times. Like, I really do believe once we go back, like, people are going to be better people. Like, I'm going to like talk to humans and engage with them in ways I never have before. Like, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we're able to hug people again, I am going to be hugging everybody. People are going to be like, please stop. But consensually, I'm going to be hugging everybody I see. I can't wait.
It's so true. It's so true.
Pass.
Yeah.
That is so cool, though. You know, you obviously know I'm a big fan of your work on stage. I'm also a big fan of your work off stage. You and I have worked a few times in the same kind of coaching rooms, spheres, and I always just love getting to watch you teach and watch you coach. So it's really cool to hear that you've been able to channel a little bit of that into new avenues that maybe wouldn't have opened if we didn't have this massive, messy, horrible pause forced upon the world. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about something else today, and it is something that I learned about you as we were stalking you on the internet in preparation for today's episode, which is that you are a bit of a spooky aficionado. You like the spooky things. You're a ghost hunter, perhaps.
Ghost hunter.
Wait. Is this because of the Jennifer Samard, Jessica Vosk podcast?
This is definitely because of the Jessica Vosk, Jennifer Samard podcast.
So
Available wherever you can get your podcasts.
Yeah, available wherever you get your fine podcast. Shout out to former guest of the show, Jessica Vosk. Tell us about your interest in is this? You were talking a little bit about your brother and you and like energies. Is this the house that you're in right now? Is this the spooky house?
Yeah. So if you guys really pay attention to like the dirty clothes behind me, maybe you'll see a ghost pop by every now and then. No, so this house that I grew up in, my parents have lived in not their whole life, so my whole life, was built in like the 20s, like late teens, early 20s, I think. And it is like a historic like home, and it's older, and my brother has had a few like ghostly experiences. It's funny, like I appreciate all things like spooky and whatever, but I am also terrified. Like seriously, if I talk about it too much, I won't be able to sleep tonight. But my brother, when we were little, the story is my brother, when we were little, we were coming home from some like late night thing, and we have a house that's kind of like a shotgun house. So the front door, if you open it, you can look all the way back to like the back of the house. And there's a little mail slot, and if you like open it, you can see all the way down the house. And so he was like 3 or 4 and I was 2, and he ran up ahead. Same. Oh, I wish I knew what you were talking about.
I think the same was the I don't know,
shotgun house.
Shotgun house.
I love the support no matter what.
Yes.
And so anyway, he ran up to the door and opened it or whatever, and looked down the slot or opened it, I forget, and saw this woman in white like at the end of our house just floating, and then she disappeared. And he like didn't make this up. And my dad went through the whole house and freaked out and saw nobody, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, cut to I'm in college going to school in Pittsburgh. I was home for a holiday. My parents drive me back to the airport in Atlanta. And as we're driving, my brother's home alone in his room, and he calls us freaking out because he was alone, nothing was on, and his guitar was sitting on like the wall, and it just strummed cleanly, perfectly. It didn't fall over, and he freaked the frick out. And my dad was like, "Go to the Waffle House." I don't know why he said go to the Waffle House, but like just to escape. And so my brother's in tune with ghosts and spirits, but I am not, unfortunately. But I am obsessed with them. And there's so many cool, like, I love history. I've always been obsessed with like historic homes and environments and things like that. So yeah.
Well, I love it.
That's
and
crazy.
We're going
That is
to use
crazy.
that as a segue to today's game of the day. Today's game of the day is inspired by Gray Henson's Haunted Childhood House. And the name of the game is... Oh no, it's not playing. Is it playing the sound?
Should I do it?
It's supposed to
Gray,
go,
what's
haunting you.
I knew that's what it would be. So
Wait a minute. Why isn't it making the noise? I'm so upset. Okay, whatever. You get it. The name of the game is Gray, What's Haunting You? And here's
I
how it
hope
works.
it's Robert Fleischman from Ghost.
And the way that it's going to work is I'm just going to show you pictures of ghosts, famous ghosts, and you have to tell me who the ghost is. Now, as always, since, yes, famous ghosts. And I've, we're going to start with a few examples because I've given you a whole slide of examples here.
Okay.
Hold on, I can't get out of this page. Oh my gosh, my computer's doing a crazy thing.
That's fine. Should we go through the people?
Yeah, so these are your examples. So for example, why don't Gray and Dylan, why don't you go back and forth naming famous ghosts on this page?
Okay, Gray,
So Gray, you go first.
Beetlejuice.
Yes, nailed it. 1 point. Dylan.
Sam, the ghost from Ghost.
Very impressed that you know his name. I was just going to say the man.
You know how
holding
many
Casey
times
Levy.
I saw Casey Levy in Ghost?
How many times? Too many times.
Too many times.
Yes, I'm very impressed. That is Sam, his character's name, holding Casey Levy, making pottery. Gray, you have another one on here?
Okay, question though. I didn't think the Phantom was a ghost.
I fell down a Broadway World chat board hole about this today.
Oh,
and
no.
It is divided. Some people consider him the opera ghost and that he is a ghost, and some people don't. But I'm going to count you saying the word phantom as a point in this example. And there's one more ghost on the page. Anybody know who it is?
It's Jessica Vosk.
It is not Jessica, but it is Frumasara. Way to go. All right, so those were the examples. Those are just to get us warmed up and ready to play Gray, What's Haunting You? And I believe there are 10 of these. I think. Hold on, let me check my cheat sheet. There are 11 of these.
Okay.
So as always, since I made the game, I did not tell Dylan what it was. So Dylan is on your team. He's here to help you. So is everybody that's in the comments. So if you get really stuck on any of these, which I don't think will happen, but if you do, just keep an eye on the comments and maybe someone will sweep in and have an answer for you. If you get the answer right, you will hear Alex Newell riffing. And if you get the answer wrong, you will hear something else. Let's start with your first haunt. Gray, what's haunting you?
Pac-Man.
That is...
The Pac-Man ghost.
That is the Pac-Man ghost.
Do they not have names?
They do have a name. Does
sorry.
anybody know the name of the Pac-Man ghost? I did not know this today until I looked it up.
All I can hear is the meow, meow, meow.
Yeah.
That is not his name.
No, I
believe it or not,
didn't say it was.
This iconic ghost is named Pinky. Nope, sorry, Inky. I-N-K-Y.
I was like, Pinky, it's blue. I-N-K-Y.
Inky. That is the name of this
Pinky's hot,
famous
though.
joke.
Pinky's cute.
But I'm going to give Gray gets full credit for knowing it's Pac-Man.
Okay.
So we're off to a solid start. Let's see if we can name what's haunting Gray next. Here's your next iconic ghost.
Come on.
Casper the Friendly.
I like that he got his full title. That is, in fact, Casper the Friendly. Casper the Friendly Ghost. I knew you were going to be great at this. We're chugging right along.
Does anyone not love that movie, by the way?
Oh my god. I had such a crush on the male Casper, like the human Casper.
Oh, like...
Oh, yeah.
Remember
Just
when he
like-
turned into a man? Yes, and he was so cute. And we were like young gays when that came out, and I remember thinking, that's it for me.
I felt the same way about young human Casper as I felt about Thackeray Binks in Hocus Pocus. Where I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, why am I attracted to this man with all of his clothes half torn off his body?
Michael, that would have been a good ghost to use in this game because he's a ghost.
Well, maybe
the
he's
end.
coming later. We'll see.
Well,
He's
you
not.
gave it
He's
away.
not. I didn't think of it.
Oh,
let's
wait.
see.
Michelle knows who that is. It's Devon Sawa.
Oh, Devon
Learned that on one of
Sawa.
our Sawa, one of our trivia nights. If you learned that.
No relation to JoJo Siwa.
No.
Here comes our next iconic ghost. Much like Gray Henson, this ghost comes to us from the world
Georgia?
of Broadway. This one's tricky. I'm
Oh,
excited
I
about
know
it.
what this one is.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I-
Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah.
You are correct. That is Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on the Broadway.
Which I never got to see, unfortunately. It was like
Oh.
it was a two-parter, and we were doing the show.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
my
so
gosh.
you never got to see the second part?
I never got to see any part. I just didn't,
Oh.
You were a little busy.
Well, I was literally going to go see all the shows once I left, but look what happened.
I know.
Well,
Well, as soon
there's
as Broadway
always the
is,
summer or fall.
yeah, Broadway will be back, and highly recommended. My God, it is such a good show. Just such like classic theater magic.
Are you a Harry Potter person?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't read them as a child because my brother did, and I didn't want to do things he did. But like, I read them as an adult, and I'm obsessed, and I'm like a very hardcore Hufflepuff. But I didn't realize Moaning Myrtle did like some sort of ballet tricks. Like, what is that photo? I'm
Yeah,
obsessed.
Michael, bring that photo back.
I don't want to give too much away, but this is the bathroom that she lives in, and she appears out of that huge thing. It's very cool.
Cute. I
This
can't
is-
wait to see it.
This is a photo of one of her entrances or exits or something.
So you guys have never actually gone to a two-parter show. Like, it sounds exhausting, but is it fun? Like, I didn't get to see Angels either or anything.
It's so fun and it flies by. Like,
Yeah.
it's so fast, and by the end of it, you're like, gee, I wish that there was a whole nother piece. Like, it is that good.
Oh, cool.
Especially
and they do
with
a really
Harry
good job.
Potter.
And they do a really good job of placing the break in a place that you're like, do we have to stop? Can we just roll right into the next act? Like, it's
Because even though each part is like 3 hours long, 3.5 hours long, like it flies by. It's
Okay,
so
that's
good.
the way I felt about August Osage County. Did you guys see that?
oh my
Yes.
God, same.
Which was so long, but I was like, was that 20 minutes? It flew by. I was so obsessed with that show.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my God, obsessed.
absolutely.
Well, you're 3 for 3. Let's see. This next one's going to be very telling. Let's see, Gray, what's haunting you?
Okay, isn't that the Ghost of Christmas Future?
That
Oh my
is-
gosh, Gray.
That is, and bonus points if you can tell me what production this one is from.
Yeah, good question. I was thinking that because I've definitely seen this before, but I can't put my finger on it. And
It's
What
not the
do you-
Muppets, right?
it's definitely not the Muppets. Is it the Jim Carrey version?
Go back, go back, go back.
It is the Muppets?
It's a Muppet Christmas Carol.
But he's not a Muppet.
That's because he's spooky. He's a ghost.
Okay,
Wait,
but
have you never seen the Muppet Christmas Carol, Gray?
okay, listen. I didn't really care about the Muppets growing up. You know when you
Oh
like
my
laugh
God.
at something or you don't? Like the Muppets were never a thing for me. So like I obviously know what the Ghost of Christmas Future looks like because I played Tiny Tim as a child. But
Oh my God, of course you did.
yeah, I'm 6'3", but I was the tiniest Tiny Tim.
Yeah, the Ebenezer Scrooge in Muppet Christmas Carol is a human. So the ghosts are appropriately sized to haunt him. It's Michael Caine, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely Scrooge.
It's Michael Caine who plays
Yeah.
Scrooge. So the ghosts are large enough to haunt Michael Caine. It takes a large person to haunt Michael Caine because, you know, he's Michael Caine.
I think sidebar, if I ever were a drag queen, I think I would be Miss Piggy. Like I would look like her, I would act like her. That would be my drag persona.
So you'd be Leslie Margarita.
Yeah.
Wait, could you imagine Gray Henson puts on like a wig and a dress and it's just Leslie
Margarita.
You're just like, wait,
honestly
how did that happen?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love it. All right, let's take a look at your next happy haunt, as they would say. Do we know who this is?
That's the Ghostbusters ghost, right?
It is. This one also has a name,
Oh,
but again, not a name that I knew until I looked him up today.
I
Anyone
think
wanna
I
take a
know
guess?
Is
Go
it
ahead.
Slimer?
It is Slimer. This is Slimer from
Slimer.
Ghostbusters.
I was gonna say slimy, but that's just a word.
If you had said Slimy, I would have had to say.
There's no way.
But for Slimer, you get the point. Aaron
Yes.
Albano gets it as
Aaron
well.
Albano knew it, of course.
duh, Aaron. Slimer.
All right, all right. If you're just tuning in, we're naming the things that are haunting Gray Henson. We're 5 for 5. This is Slimer from Ghostbusters. And let's take a look at your next very famous, very spooky ghost. Gray, what's haunting you?
There was a time when love. Okay, this is Erica Henningsen as Fontaine, but I guess we do see her as a ghost right at the very, very end.
Right
Yeah,
at the very
this
end.
isn't
And
her as a ghost, Michael. This is her.
is
when
that not
she-
her as a ghost?
No.
No,
Oh,
but like,
whatever.
we get it. I mean, what a gorgeous little human being. I love her so much.
Seriously.
Love her. Of course, your co-star from Mean Girls.
Yeah, and
But I
think
believe-
my long lost relative. We like literally. I've always joked we kind of look alike because I have a woman's nose, but we have like Scandinavian like history in our running through our veins.
Oh my gosh.
That is
I'd
wild.
love that.
Yeah, I love her so much. She's like a little sister to me.
Was that, I believe that's her Broadway debut, right, Les Mis? Is that true?
I think so. Yeah, and she was super young and replaced Casey Levy. Yeah, it was a big deal.
I actually had Casey in this slideshow earlier today, and then I was like, I've missed an opportunity. So I went hunting for Erica Henningsen photo.
I know, and what a great photo that is of her.
Ernest complimenting the wig. Yes, it is everything.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. All right. That is, so far you're playing a perfect game.
I didn't know I knew so much about ghosts.
You
But
know
I'm
so many ghosts.
Joy says that
You
that
are-
was Erica's debut.
Yes, well, Joy would know. The Broadway Wiz herself is here. All right, Gray, what's haunting you? Do we know who this guy is?
Okay, wait. Is this from like Goosebumps?
It looks
is-
like it's from Goosebumps.
It is not from
Okay, wait. Let me look for a
Goosebumps.
little bit.
Okay, let me make it a little bigger for you. There it is.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh my God, Dylan, we're not friends anymore.
But it's haunting me for sure.
It's super haunty.
Does it have a bird cage with it?
It
Wait,
has
wait. What was the name of that restaurant in Times Square that got shut down?
not
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh.
This is not from Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
It's
have okay.
not
who is
that. Anybody in the comments know who this is? I'm looking for a new best friend because Dylan's out because he does not know this ghost.
Rude.com/awful. Haunted Mansion.
This is somebody that appears in the Haunted Mansion at Disney World. Does anybody
Okay,
know
thank you, Rose. I got my
what
friend back.
ghost this is?
Michelle has no idea what that is.
Thanks, Michelle. Me neither.
Are you not Disney people?
I
Well,
mean,
Guys.
Been to the Haunted Mansion, but like, do I recognize every single ghost? No.
This ghost is iconic because this is an OG ghost that Walt put in to the Haunted Mansion, and he is known as the Hatbox Ghost. And he's been done.
it's the Hatbox Ghost.
Zoe got it. Rose got it. The Hatbox Ghost has been revamped a few times over the years. But what happens is the face that you see under his top hat disappears and at the same time appears in the hat box that he's carrying.
Oh, cool.
But the top hat stays where it is. So it's like a very cool effect. At the time, like this is the second or third iteration of the Hatbox Ghost. But
Okay.
at the time that they first built Haunted Mansion, this was like a very cool effect. And people were like, how did they do it? But it involves Disney magic.
Well, I would like to say that as a Broadway newsie, Erin Albano is asking if they have names and is eye rolling.
Well, listen, they have names. Not everybody in the Haunted Mansion has a name, but this is a big one. All
That's
right,
a
we
Disney
were
movie.
playing.
Didn't know that.
We were playing a perfect game. We are no longer playing a perfect game thanks to the Hatbox Ghost.
Which is fine because you're weird and know that the ghosts in Disney have names.
But that's okay. Gray is still winning. Let's see if we can name Gray. What's haunting you? This is our next famous ghost.
I think I might know this.
I
Okay.
have no idea who that is.
This one might not be fair, just to be honest.
Okay, why? Could you give us a hint?
This ghost has been portrayed by
Okay.
many throughout the years. This ghost is being presented on a stage. So this is a production photo.
Right. Okay. I want
Is
to
it a
Shakespeare.
Hotbox Girl?
It's not the Hotbox Girl.
Is it like a Shakespeare production?
No.
Oh, wait. Yes. Don't listen to Gavin Creel. Yes, it is a Shakespeare production.
We don't listen to Gavin Creel.
I don't know who specifically it is, but
I'm going to give you at least half credit for knowing it's Shakespeare. Do you want to take a stab at who famously...
stab?
yeah. Wait, who gets visited by a ghost? Jesus, I went to acting school.
Wait, is it like Henry the if?
I don't think so. I'm
Is it
looking...
music
I'm looking
theater
for
days
somebody's. I'm looking for like somebody's dad, basically.
Okay.
Hamlet's dad.
That's right. This is King Hamlet.
That's King Hamlet. Okay.
There he is.
Who's
I
the
tried-
actor?
I have
Who's
no
the
idea.
Daddy? The daddy. As
The
King Hamlet.
daddy, the acting daddy. We don't know. But you got it. I'm gonna give you. Dylan looks tired in the picture. Alan, how dare you?
Alan, you're gonna have to. Nope.
Rude. All right, you guys. We are 8 questions in. 3 remain. And Gray is playing an almost perfect game of Gray. What's haunting
true.
you? Let's name our next famous
I'm so nervous.
ghost.
Oh my God! Is that Snapchat ghost?
That is Snapchat Ghost.
I was. Does the Snapchat ghost have a name, Michael?
He doesn't, but we could name him if we wanted to. But
Snap.
last time I named somebody, you got all weird. You told me it was a weird thing.
Snap. I think call him Snap.
They're
Snap.
fighting you guys. This is a fight.
Yeah, that's the Snapchat Ghost. I thought that was going to be a little harder. When I took him off of the backdrop, I was like, ooh, this is sneaky. But nope. Cannot fool you guys. All right, moving on. 2 remain. Let's see if we can fool you or stump you rather with
Okay.
this famous ghost.
The Headless Horseman.
That's right, the Headless Horseman, who
I
I did
love
a little
that.
bit of. I looked into a little bit today. 2 camps. Again, a split history on the Headless Horseman. Half believe that he had no head, and half believe that he had his head, but he was carrying it in his hands. So,
Ooh. Wait,
Interesting.
I didn't know it was like based on like real folklore.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's apparently
I
a
love
whole big
that.
thing.
I'm upset. That's like right up my alley. Is like a period piece, like haunted moment. Like you've seen the Johnny Depp version of Sleepy Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So good. I'm obsessed.
Oh my god, so good, so spooky.
Yeah.
All right, this
Okay.
is your very last, very, very famous, notoriously known, widely accepted, no questions asked ghost.
Okay.
Can we name this famous ghost?
Yeah. That is a Book of Mormon Starbucks skeleton ghost. The Spooky Mormon Hellry.
Yes, that is from the Spooky Mormon Hell Dream.
Come on,
What
Spooky Mormon.
Was that the
Let's
original
see.
company? Or is that
I have no idea. I just Googled Spooky Mormon Hell Dream, and that was the hit that came up.
It kind of looks like my friend Fire Hawkins, who was in Hair, the revival of Hair.
Okay.
But like that number was the best. Okay, fun fact about Spooky Mormon Hell Dream. So when Rory O'Malley did it, he came out with a huge feather boa as like super gay McKinley in Hell Dream haunting Elder Price. And when we were in rehearsals for the first national tour, it was Gavin Creel's Price. We were in rehearsals, and this is like right after I graduated. I taught myself how to like twirl a baton in my backyard as a kid, and so I like never really like I wasn't in like drill team or whatever, but like I kind of taught myself to do it and like roll it over your hand and toss it and catch it. And so as Moroni, the Elder Moroni, an All American Angel, I had this horn, and we were like between like goes or whatever, and I was playing with my horn and I was throwing it, and Casey Nicolau came up to me. He was like, do you know how to twirl a baton? And I was like, I kind of taught myself when I was a gay kid in Georgia. And so the next day we staged Hell Dream, and he was like, McKinley's gonna twirl a baton in Hell Dream on the tour. And so he handed me a baton, and I came out and instead of the bow, I went down center stage, tossed a baton and caught it and ran off stage. And
Did
like
people go wild? I would have like been standing ovation in the middle of a
I
number.
wasn't good at it. Like I would drop it like once a month, and so we would be in like Des Moines, Iowa on tour, and I would like throw the baton and it would go in the pit, and I would just yell like shit and run off stage. Like I was not a good baton twirler, but it was a funny gag.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
so
Do you
funny.
know if on the tour the Elder McKinley still twirls a baton or no? Do you know?
No, because when I moved to the Broadway company, they took it away from me because the company didn't because they had to change the choreography.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think they did do it on the second national, the one that Ben Platt did in Chicago. The McKinley there also twirled the baton, and maybe they still do. I don't know. I mean, I was very proud that was something that we added in that was super special.
Some college
love
senior who always wanted to play Elder McKinley is cursing you somewhere, being like, I thought I had it. I can tap, I can sing, and now they want me to throw a baton.
They added the baton. How dare they?
I know. Yeah.
Oh my God, so funny. Well, let me take a quick look at my scorecard here and see if we have results. It looks like that's a win for Gray Henson in today's game of the day. Gray, what's haunting you? Well done.
Greg, you win a bottle of gin.
Thank you.
You can drink the rest of your gin.
We flew it down to Georgia.
In my house. I want to thank all the ghosts haunting me.
I know if you wake up tomorrow and most of that gin is gone, blame the ghosts.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if I left it in my bedroom too? Like,
oh my goodness. All right. Well, Gray, well done. You made it through the very perilous, very scary game of the day. And we've got 2 questions that we've asked everybody that's been a guest on our show. There are the hard-hitting journalistic questions that we hit you with. Now that you've had a little gin and tonic, now that we're feeling loose, before we can go anywhere, these are the questions for the end of the show. And the first question is, we've been a little over 9 months, this shutdown, which has, had its ups and downs. And we talked a little bit earlier about how that has felt. But what's something that has been bringing you joy throughout the pandemic? Something that's kept you feeling creative or brought you some joy or kept you happy during this very weird time?
Well, I've been going on a lot of walks here in Georgia. Something that I do appreciate about not living in New York right now is like you can walk and not see people. Like I can like breathe fresh air and like go in the woods. You know what I mean? Which growing up, I was like, who cares about the woods? But now I'm like obsessed with the woods. But like literally, I listened to Oprah's Super Soul Sunday podcast, which is so cliche, gay, like spiritual, but it really has helped me a lot with like various stressors or whatnot. I was just listening to one on mindfulness and just focusing on the moment. That's really like been something I've been trying to like replay in my head over and over. Also, like I have been rewatching all of Drag Race, like all of it. And I know that's also so cliche gay, but like it's just really good TV and it brings me so much comfort. But yeah, I've just been like hanging out with my parents and like I said earlier, I think the silver lining here is that like you have to pause and everyone's forced to pause. And I've just been trying to connect with people who like, you grow up, you leave your hometowns. Right. You necessarily don't like, you're not surrounded by, I was home like for 2 days at most every year since college. And now I'm here every day. Yeah. I'm really like super grateful for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I have to ask, because I know we have some Drag Race fans in the audience today. I can see them in the comments. So I have to ask, you're rewatching Drag Race. Do you have any favorite queens in the Drag Race franchise? Who are your faves?
I know like every season. I mean, I think my overall favorite is Bianca Del Rio because she just does it so well. And and I also love following her as like outside of the show because we all know it's reality TV, right? And so like I'm obsessed with like seeing how someone's portrayed on TV versus like how they actually are in real life. And so I think she's like really cool. And also in Mean Girls, like on my like a little Easter egg was my spring fling jacket. At the end was this like painted portrait of Bianca Del Rio as like a saint because Greg Barnes, our costume designer, knows her. Because Roy worked in like Broadway costuming houses. And so there was this like hand-painted gorgeous Bianca Del Rio that not everyone always saw because it was on my back. But like, I love her. The new season though, who am I loving? I love Simone.
Oh, yeah.
I am a huge Simone fan. I'm loving Simone.
I'm really excited to see what she does. I think like my roommate kind of hated this first episode that they just started with because it was kind of repetitive. But I don't know. I've been so deprived, I guess, of new content that I'm here for it no matter what. But yeah, I just love it. It's just good TV.
I loved it. This is great because I'm not really allowed to talk about Drag Race on my other show because other reasons. But I loved it. I thought that Untucked was amazing this week. I was like, where was that? Like, that's the story that I wanted versus like 6 lip syncs back to back to back to back to back, where I was like, I'm just tired. But Untucked, I really started to get into it. I can't wait to. I haven't watched the 10 minutes came out last night. I haven't watched the first 10, but I'm very excited to see what is lying ahead for us this Friday.
Yeah. That's been keeping me happy for sure.
Amazing.
And I think that was something. Oh, sorry. I
go
was
ahead.
one more thing about Drag Race.
Yeah, and then you get to ask the second question. So you take it away, Dills.
Oh, okay, great. But what I was going to say is the episode that happened last week I thought was great, but it wasn't as good as I liked the last season where it was like 2 episodes where you got to meet all the queens, because in that season I felt like you got to know them more, whereas this we're not really getting to know them as well as we did last season.
I was talking to somebody about this this week, that it almost does the opposite, right? Like the splitting up of the premiere makes it so that you get to watch them interact that much more.
Right.
And there's that much more time spent on each person, and you get to see them perform a little bit, but mostly you get to see them interact, to talk, to tell us who they are. And they split it over 2 episodes, which made for a lot of time to get to know the girls. Versus this seemed to achieve the opposite, which was that it was like, you get to see her for like 4 minutes. She's going to do a lip sync. She's going to get the hell out of there. And we're going to bring in the next 2. And by the end of it,
and you're going to see that one of them or 2 of them feel like so defeated and be like, you know, I don't know. I just don't like that.
Also, can you believe that season that you're talking about happened during quarantine, and now we're on a brand new season? Like, insane.
It's insane. I also think it's insane to remember that season 12 debuted as we were going into quarantine. So since we hit quarantine, we've had 12 All-Stars, 13
Celebrity,
and Vegas dropped.
That weird thing.
It's
Canada,
and now 13.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, you didn't hear it here, but there's another All-Stars already in the can. Like they also filmed an All-Stars.
Like, why they'd be stupid not to keep churning that out.
So there's just like so much, but it's wild. Honestly, I think the hardest part, I'm never going to be on Drag Race because I am not a drag queen, but I think the hardest
You're
part
a drag queen, Michael. You have a drag persona.
2 times a year. But I think the hardest, Layla's saying Holland, don't forget Holland came out. But I think the hardest part of the whole show must be having to quarantine completely alone for 2 weeks before you start filming.
Oh my God, yeah, your mind is just racing.
Like, I feel like production loves the second half of filming because everybody's starting to go a little crazy anyway, which makes for good television. But like, if you really want to stir them up, make them sit alone in silence for 2 weeks before they get to make their entrance.
Games. I did drag briefly, like not actually as a profession, but I do like like I said before, I have like my mother's face. Like I look like a woman sometimes, but I'm so tall. But literally, I was doing Mormon with Taryn. Do you know Taryn?
Yeah.
And he's Jakar, and he was like, I want to do you up. And so he like fully put me in drag. It was for Pride. And we all went out, like we walked through Times Square, but I was the only one in full drag. And he like gave me everything, like outfit, heels. And we were like wasted. And I was walking through Times Square during Pride as a drag queen. And I never realized how people just gravitate towards drag queens. Like I did not have like a persona. I had never done it. And boys at the bar were just coming up to me and like spilling secrets. Like literally, I was like, oh wow, they literally are just like, people are drawn to these queens and just tell them everything. And I literally didn't have a voice or anything, and I didn't know what to say. I was just like, yes, girl, like literally just pretending I was the real drag queen. Well, like I kind of pulled it off. I have a few names. When I did Moroni in Mormon, someone's boyfriend or husband said I looked like Gina Davis in my Moroni wig.
Oh my God.
My drag name was Dina Javis, which I think is still a good drag name.
That's a great drag name. Please welcome to the stage, Dina Javis.
Dina Javis.
It worked.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. But yeah, no, there's something so like you put on the stuff and people just like want to talk to you and tell you things.
Yeah,
Michael, what's your drag name?
Say what?
Michael's drag name.
My drag name, she only comes out twice a year, but her name is Grace Anatomy. And she's a doctor sometimes, but not usually.
Years. I feel like that should be my drag name because everyone always talks about that show when I say what my name is. And I was at Starbucks once, and they were like, "Oh, did you watch the episode where this person dies?" And I was like, "No, like just because my name is Gray does not mean I watched the show."
Yeah. Well, Jackie Cox, who's a season 12 girl, who's one of my best friends, her partner, I don't have like a drag mother, but her partner put me in drag for the first time. And his name is Grace Papaya. So all of the boys that he has helped get into drag all become Graces. And girls. That's true. And girls. So we all become Graces. So there's Gracie Spoon, Grace Papaya. I'm Grace Anatomy. And there's a few other Graces as well. But
Wait, I need to see photos after this. Please send.
I will send you photos after this.
Oh yeah, we'll kiki after this.
It's been something.
Yes.
And next Halloween we're all and I mean you're going to be on Broadway again, I'm sure, but sometime we're all going out in drag. We'll make it happen. It's going to be great. Dylan has one more hard-hitting question for you.
The last hard-hitting question of the day is not to rush any of the healing that is going on in the world, especially today. But when this all passes and we're all, getting back to our new normal after pandemic life, what are you most looking forward to?
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to seeing people and talking to people. At this point, it's like, it sounds so cliche to say that, but seriously, I want to do things that I always kept myself from doing. I'm a little bit of like an extroverted introvert. Like I'm good with people, but I like being alone. And Gavin is still one of my best friends. We did Mormon together, and then we've just kept in touch. And we both were saying we just want to go to like seedy gay bars in New York and just drink and be stupid. Like do things that like Broadway performers don't normally do because our schedule is so crazy. You know what I mean? And I haven't really enjoyed New York to the fullest because an 8-show-a-week schedule is no joke. And that's like all you do. You wake up thinking, can I sing? How is my body? And so I was like excited about like dating in New York and going around and just enjoying the city. So if I am in New York when everything goes back to normal, which I'm assuming I will be, I want to do that. I just kind of want to be a little stupid,
Yeah.
Safe.
I think that it's going to be like that. They say that, the roaring 20s happened after the 1918 pandemic. And I'm ready for the roaring 20s in New York.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun, and I think you deserve it.
Yes.
You've been busy. And you had that one break, but you spent it selling essential oils, so you didn't get to go as wild as some people do. But
I'm gonna say that he was managing an essential oils store selling essential oils.
Yeah.
Manager Gray.
Can you
small
believe?
business manager. I'm obsessed.
My gosh. Thank you so much, Gray. This has been so fun.
This was so fun. Thank you guys. I forget that other people are watching. I feel like just 3 of us are just talking.
Well, that's the goal.
That's the goal. We crushed it.
Yeah, I know that time is weird. What is time right now? But time is super weird, so it means a lot that you came to spend some of yours with us today. And we miss you, and we can't wait to see you when New York comes back to itself and when you're back. And until then, best of luck in Georgia, in your haunted house. And we love you so much, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, Gray. Cheers.
So much fun. You guys, if you're just tuning in,
you're
late. You missed our very special guest bartender today from the Broadway companies of Mean Girls and Book of Mormon. It was Gray Henson, and he led us through a gin and tonic that was absolutely delicious that I am now done with.
And we played a spooky game. Learned about a lot of ghosts.
Spooky. I hope everyone can sleep tonight. That was so spooky.
I know. It's like it's October all over again. Boo.
If you guys had fun tonight, please do hit subscribe on this channel. There are 3 shows that come your way right here every week. And the next one, we'll start the whole cycle again this coming Monday. It's MT Trivia with Chris and Kevin Metzger-Timson. 3 rounds of Broadway trivia, 2 special Broadway guests, and only 1 winner. Somebody wins and the other person goes home very sad. And by goes home, I mean they're already home because it's a pandemic, but they're very sad. And this week they are joined by 2 of a kind, no category. They have 2 of the girls from Six, the musical, with them on Monday.
Yes. And then on Tuesday, Michael Hull is back. Yes, you're back on Tuesday at 7 o'clock for another show of Good Morning Tonight with your co-host, Jackie Cox.
Yes.
And that show on Tuesday, are we announcing this?
We are not announcing the guests, but we will announce them shortly on social. But get excited. If you've been following our journey, you might be able to guess our next guests. But we're going to announce those very shortly. That's on Tuesday. And then, of course, Dylan and I are back next Thursday with another happy hour. And we hope you'll join us. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, wear a mask, wash your hands. Happy birthday to my mom. It's her birthday today.
Shut up. It's Laura's birthday. I'm texting
It's Laura's birthday. Please text her as soon as this is over. We love you.